Hey friends, welcome to the Spotlight on Life podcast. This is Daniela, and today we're going to talk about some really big news out of Texas. The Texas legislature had passed the Woman and Child Protection Act. Sometimes you'll hear it called the Mother and Child Protection Act. Now, I know when you hear words like bill or law or legislation, your eyes can glaze over a bit, and it could be very difficult to distinguish between what it all means. But stick with me because this is one that really matters. It matters for moms, it matters for babies, and it matters for the church. So today, I want to break that down for you. We're going to talk through what the law actually does. We're going to clear up some confusion. We'll talk about why it's important for churches like yours and churches like mine. And then we'll give you some really practical next steps so that we could all be a part of the solution. So let's start off with what the bill actually does. First, here's the heart of the bill. It goes after the traffickers of abortion pills, not after the moms. For years now, to probably the tune of roughly 19,000 abortion pills a year here in Texas, vendors have been exploiting loopholes. They're mailing these drugs into Texas with zero medical oversight. There's no ultrasound, there's no check for ectopic pregnancies, there's really no real follow-up between a doctor and the mother. And who pays the price at the end of the day? Well, it's the women in crisis. They pay the price. And obviously, it's their children's life that pays the ultimate price. So what this law does? Well, it closes that loophole. It essentially says, if you traffic abortion pills here in Texas, you can be held accountable. Even if you're sitting in another state, or maybe you're in a different country, if you target Texan women, you can be sued. And we're not talking about small fines here either. The penalties start at around $100,000 per violation. So that's some serious teeth and some serious bite. Now let's be super clear. The mother is never the target. She cannot be sued under this law. This is really holding the manufacturers, the distributors, and the online pill pushers accountable. So now let's clear up some of the confusion. I know that there's confusion around bills like this. So let's take a breath and we'll clear it up. Some people ask, but wait, wasn't abortion already illegal in Texas? And yes, elective abortion has been banned, but traffickers, they keep trying to sneak around the law by shipping these pills through the mail. The bill closes that loophole, as I mentioned. This is something that I encounter with many churches that I speak to. They think that, well, hey, abortion is illegal in Texas, right? That the fight is over. Well, really, it's not. It's just that the battlefield looks different, but it's not over. Others worry that they say, well, what does this mean for doctors? Will this mean that they're going to be afraid to treat miscarriages or ectopic pregnancies? Well, no, that's not the case. Texas law already requires emergency care, and nothing in this bill changes that. If a woman's life is at risk, doctors must act, and they will, and they know it. So here's another big one. Another challenge is, does this let people sue the mothers? Absolutely not. As I mentioned before, women are protected. The accountability here is aimed at the traffickers who are preying on these vulnerable moms. So what does this mean for the church? Well, it gives us a very clear message. We can confidently say, Texas is protecting moms and babies by shutting down pill traffickers without targeting the moms themselves. This means that we can minister with boldness, with compassion, with truth, and with mercy, all of that going hand in hand. Second, it means that we need to be ready. Us as a church, we need to be ready for this. If these illegal pill pipelines, if they dry up, more women are going to come forward looking for real help. And that's where we, the local church, get to step in. Think about it. If a scared young woman shows up at your church, would your people know what to do? Do they know who to call? Do they know their local pregnancy resource center? And third, we need to prepare for healing. As laws change, more women and men, they're going to be dealing with the emotional and the spiritual aftermath of abortion. Actually, recent stats say that 40% of women in our churches have had an abortion. Are we prepared for that? Do we know how to handle that conversation? This is where the gospel shines the brightest. Churches must be a safe place where women can find freedom. Women and men can find freedom and forgiveness. They can find family. So this is actually where this podcast comes in as well. It's called the Spotlight on Life because we really want to shine a light on these pro-life issues and we want to mobilize Christians towards action. We can't just be hearers, but we also must be doers as well. So if you visit spotlightonlife.com, you can find resources for pastors and for congregants alike. There's sermon outlines, there's even small group study guides available alongside other interviews and blogs for your perusal. So please go check it out. Now back to the topic at hand. What's the next step? What are we going to do? What can we do now that abortion, it is illegal in Texas, and now we're going to be holding these abortion pill providers accountable here in Texas? Well, a few simple steps is let's pray by name for the people at a district level in our state. Let's pray for leaders. Let's pray for women in crisis pregnancy. And yes, let's even pray for those who are trafficking these pills, that God would change their hearts. Another thing we could do is let's equip our churches. Reach out to me so we can get you and your church resourced with abortion pill reversal hotline. We can get you connected to the nearest pregnancy center. We can help you find a local post-abortive ministry and whatever else you may need. We want to be able to give you that so you have that in your arsenal. And another thing we could do is let's strengthen these partnerships, connect with church and ministries like Human Coalition or connect with your local pregnancy center. Let's build that pipeline of care so that no woman falls through the cracks. And another thing we could do is let's show up in practical ways. Volunteer at a local pregnancy clinic. Have your church participate in a baby bottle drive. Put on a baby shower for a woman in crisis pregnancy. These small acts, which really they're not small, sometimes they preach a louder sermon than any platform could ever preach. So here's what I'll leave you with. The Woman and Child Protection Act is a victory for life here in Texas. It protects moms from dangerous, unregulated pills, and it protects preborn children from abortion. By laws alone, we can't heal. At the end of the day, the law alone cannot heal the heart or meet the needs of these women. But that's where the church comes in. So let's be the hands and feet of Jesus. Let's be ready to welcome, ready to serve, and ready to heal. If you or someone you know needs help, please check the show notes. There's going to be some resources in there for you. And just know that you're not alone. This is Daniela with the Spotlight on Life. Thank you for listening. Catch you next time.